Today we're going to do a rankings list. This is something me and Omar have done a long time ago. We were bored one night in a diner after seeing Endgame. We made a list of every single MCU movie from worst to best. Fortunately, we did it on my phone, and I thought I had saved it, but I didn't. So the list is lost forever.
You also
Why
lost
not
all
try
your
to
bars.
recreate
You
that?
had some crazy ass bars on that phone.
I mean, they'll come back to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Biggie or like Lil Wayne. I don't write it. I just kind of spit it when I'm on the mic.
Sure.
But mixtape coming soon. I'm gonna put it on this channel. We're gonna have a listen party. Anyways, so we thought we'd do it again. So I'm gonna be calling out the movies in chronological order as release. So here we go. Let's jump right into this.
But before that, though,
please.
this isn't like a one-time thing. This is something that we're planning on doing these kinds of lists pretty often. This isn't just like a one-time thing.
Yeah.
So this is a new segment that we are kind of launching today, and we decided to do it with the MCU, one of the bigger movie studios in the world.
A small indie movies, a collection of these small indie movies that were released. Not a lot of people know about them, so we want to bring more attention to it.
Of course.
Because we feel like not a lot of people have watched these Marvel movies. I believe it's French, right? Marvel.
Yeah, it is French. Yes.
Anyways, all right. So kicking it off on the list is Iron Man. Thoughts and.
Iron Man definitely deserves to be kind of higher on the list. Like,
it's the grandpappy.
yeah, it started it off. It was definitely a risk that Marvel was taking, not only on the actual character himself, but the actor as well. I mean, it's a risk that paid off tremendously. But yeah, do you remember the first time you ever watched it? Did you go to theaters to watch it?
Yes, so it's in the theater. So my mom is a giant comic book nerd, so she has like literally stacks and stacks of comics in her closet. So every comic book movie, my mother's the first one to grab me and go. So we went, I saw it, I was amazed, and I wanted to be Iron Man after that movie.
Yeah.
Minus the alcoholism.
Well, that the MCU never touched upon that. So, as far as
I mean,
just just like not a lot.
I kind of swept it under the rug.
Exactly. All right, so Iron Man deserves
he's
to be kind of
drinking
like
a
a top of the list.
All right. So the next one released is one of the more impressive ones to me, right up there with Thor: The Dark World. The Incredible Hulk.
Definitely below, definitely below Iron Man.
Definitely.
It's the only MCU movie that suffers from kind of being disconnected from the MCU, and it's literally
Despite having the cameo at the
despite
end.
the cameo at the end,
Yeah.
and it's because of the actors. And another thing, Thaddeus Ross makes his first appearance in this movie, and he's in the MCU.
Yes.
Later
Yes, he
on.
is.
So it's definitely like canon, but it's because Edward Norton played Bruce Banner in this movie and then never reprised the role that it kind of feels a little disconnected. In terms of the movie, what do you think of the movie?
It was cool to see the Hulk after actually fight, Abomination. Because like in the first Hulk movie they did with Eric Bana, he was fighting dogs in water. Like it was weird. So it was actually nice to see the Hulk actually fight somebody.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed the movie. There were scenes that I enjoyed a lot. Overall, it's kind of a forgettable movie, honestly.
Yeah.
That's the best I could say about it. It's forgettable.
They even swept it over in one of the MCU tie-in comics with the whole leader situation, saying that he was just locked up. All right, coming up next, so Iron Man 2.
Not as good as the original.
I mean, obvious. That goes without saying. But better than the Hulk.
I think so. Uh, there are several things in the movie that uh,
They got rid of Terrence Howard.
yeah.
There's no more Iron Man.
Um, but Don Cheadle's the man. So,
Don Cheadle's, motherfucking Don Cheadle's.
you know, Captain, what is it? Captain Planet.
Captain Planet, motherfucker.
So that's his greatest role to date. um, yeah, I would say it's better than Incredible Hulk. It was definitely more exciting, seeing that.
War Machine.
Yeah, seeing War Machine, but it's also, this is kind of what started this is a thing that's going to keep happening. There are sequels going into this. Like there's a lot of planning going into it, and I definitely remember, especially after watching Iron Man for the first time, seeing that Iron Man 2 was coming out was exciting, and overall I enjoyed my movie going experience. The movie itself it kind of fell a little flat.
It wasn't the best thing.
But I still think that it's better than Incredible Hulk.
All right. Next up is Thor.
Thor.
It's another forgettable.
It's forgettable. There are scenes in the movie that are definitely memorable. I mean, the only one that, not the only one, but the one that always comes to mind is another. Smashes the cup.
It does have some nice quotables.
And it also introduces, Crims Hemsworth and Asgard. It was cool seeing Asgard, and it was Loki's first kind of
debut.
Yeah, so there are things about the movie that I very much enjoyed. Yeah. I don't know.
A lot of these movies were before MCU really got the recipe correct.
Yeah.
So a lot of these early movies kind of suffered from that.
The question is it better than Iron Man 2? It's better than the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk. I'll give it that much. But is it better than Iron Man 2? What do you think? It's tough. It's tough because I want to give it the spot over Iron Man 2 just because of the fact that it introduced Loki, it introduced Thor, it introduced Padme. I mean, Dr. Foster, who we know is coming back for
Thor 4.
Yeah, Love and Thunder. So I don't know. I feel like
I'm not. Yeah, I can put it over.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm like it's kind of like whether it goes above or below. It doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah.
Much.
All right. So next is Capitan America.
The first Avenger.
The first Avenger.
Definitely above Thor. I loved the movie.
Thor.
Yeah, it's definitely above Thor. I loved that movie. I thought it was just such a great introduction to Captain America. I enjoyed the entire movie start to finish. Definitely after kind of like 3 subpar movies. Again, at that time we didn't really think of them as subpar. It was kind of just like that was cool. That was cool
in the moment, yeah.
Because that's all that there was at that moment. Captain America is definitely the first one in a while that was just like, wow, that was great.
Okay, and then after Captain America comes the very first Avengers.
I have to put it, me personally, I would put it above Iron Man. Yeah, I mean, I remember the hype going into this movie being released. It was crazy. Everyone was talking about it. Everybody was just so excited. Because nothing had been done like it before.
Like this ever.
Never.
Yeah. It was
You know, the
well, except for like the the Indian like version of like Spider-Man and Captain America, which are great if you ever want to watch it. They're on YouTube.
they are on YouTube.
When they start breaking into dance breaks,
The
like dun,
dance
dun, dun,
breaks
dun,
are
dun, dun, dun,
great.
dun, fire.
uh,
And Spider-Man can fly. Come on, it's the best movie ever.
no, the Superman one is my favorite. Um, but yeah, it's the first time it had ever happened, and you know, after a great movie like Captain America, which kind of left it, it kind of like it was such a perfect setup for the Avengers. Um, yeah, and you started caring about these characters a little bit by this time. Definitely Iron Man. You know, he had two movies under his belt at this point already, so you already started feeling you know, care for him, and especially like the kind of the somber note that Captain America: First Avenger left off. You
Yeah,
kind of started feeling for Captain like right off the bat on the Avengers.
yeah. I mean, when I first saw this movie, I was just at the edge of my seat the
Oh, blown
whole
away.
way through. The first pan sequence where they circle around and you see all six lined
Oh,
up. That's iconic, man.
yeah.
That's
No, it's
yeah,
it's
definitely the best out of Phase One. That's
yeah,
top
and
number one.
and it's not surprising either. Um, you know, Josh Whedon did an incredible job with it. Incredible job.
Joss did a great job on Justice League as well. So he's really good at these
I
movies.
wasn't gonna mention it because we're doing Marvel, uh, but you know,
All right, moving on to probably one of. I personally really like this movie. I don't understand what all the hate was about it. I loved it. Marvel tried to do something different. They wanted to. This is one of their first tries of kind of messing with the superhero formula, and I enjoyed it. Iron Man 3.
what was the name of the director? Black.
Wow, whoa, African American. During a time like this, you're gonna say some shit like that?
I'm pretty sure his last name is Black.
Shane Black is his name.
Exactly. Yeah. I rewatched it because I kind of had that kind of like hatred for it too, because I was just like, um,
I get that's just the Mandarin shit.
the
That pissed people
Mandarin
off.
was
I thought it was funny.
no, I'm still very upset about it. Now the fact that Marvel is bringing him back and actually like doing Mandarin is
Yeah,
exciting. It kind of sucks, kind of you know, on the heel of losing Iron Man, but yeah, no, there.
but you see where I put Iron Man 3 for me personally.
That's
That's
where you
where
would
I
put
have
it,
it.
right above Thor. It's
Yeah, I
definitely
think it's better than Thor, better than Iron Man 2. I it's to me it's neck and neck with Captain America. I didn't really like Captain America that much.
I mean,
Literally like a 15-minute montage of nothing, and then I don't know. That's but for the sake of not arguing too long, I will put it under Captain America.
yeah, you know, I'm fine with with it. It's definitely more memorable than Thor and Iron Man 2.
Otherwise, we'll be doing like this will be a 50-minute
Yeah.
video of us arguing about,
All right,
and
what's
we
next?
have more stuff to do. Next is to me the epitome of
Oh,
what a cinematic masterpiece
yeah,
should be.
number one right now.
Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, put it at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna put that under the hall.
Yeah,
Do we even want to talk about this at
no,
all?
no.
It was elves. It was weird.
It
Okay.
introduced an Infinity Stone, and that's about it.
Yeah, the Infinity Goo.
That's it.
And we're just gonna
Um,
put Thor.
It gave us more
Right.
Natalie Portman. I'm always
It did give us more
I'm always
Portman.
for more Natalie Portman, but
And more Loki. Loki dies.
yeah,
Not really, but
his first death,
Loki's good at just dying and coming back.
right?
Like, oh, y'all thought I was
Oh, you
finished.
thought?
Yo, you thought now? What changed the game? The introduction of the Russo brothers to the MCU.
This is no question.
The Winter Soldier.
No question. Put
The
it.
only question is better than Avengers or not better?
It's better than the Avengers. As a movie, yes, it's better than the Avengers. The intrigue and it almost felt more well, not more planned than the Avengers, but like the fact that obviously they were gonna bring back Bucky. You know, if you
Bucky.
know anything about Captain America in the comics books,
Spoiler alert.
yeah, Bucky didn't die, and he's the Winter Soldier. I thought that the everything about this movie.
No, no, no. He can't be the Winter Soldier. Bucky had two arms. Winter Soldier has one.
It's pretty simple actually. Uh, you can lose an arm. Did you know that? You can actually lose parts of your body.
No, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, do you think?
Bucky lost his arm to diabetes. Well, sorry. Oh, maybe we cut that out. I don't know. We'll see.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Do you think that that it's better than the Avengers? Do you agree?
Uh, I'm not mad at it being above the Avengers. It's just to me the Avengers just has that nostalgia factor.
It does, which is why it's
And
tough.
that's why it's kind of hard for me to. But like I love the Winter Soldier. To me, it's probably. Well, we'll see how this list goes, but to me, it's easily top
Yeah.
five MCU movies. Like that's one of the best.
And it's again, you said it, the introduction of the Russo brothers.
Which changed the game.
Yeah, and we'll get into that more a bit later. But and the thing is, out of Phase 2, this was the first time we were like, oh my god, there's a movie that actually kind of matched the Avengers in terms of like
Shit got real.
yeah, exactly.
Movie
I
opened up a lot of weird, like, kind of like plot holes a little bit.
yeah, I mean they tried to clean it
But,
up later, but
you
I
know.
mean, it is what it is.
But it was cool.
Yeah.
You know what a twist.
The elevator
Alright.
fight scene. Let's just
Probably one of the best. I mean, I think just fight scenes in
the
general.
fight
That
scenes
movie had probably
in
had
this
some of the
movie.
best hand-to-hand fight scenes
Yeah,
ever.
yeah, yeah.
The fucking with him and Bucky with the knife and the shield, and him dropping the knife, and that shit was crazy.
Not even it's at the beginning of the movie when he was on the ship, he was going off.
Yeah, fighting GSP.
it was yeah. I believe it's better than the Avengers.
It was just weird to see GSP in a movie. I was like, what is he doing there? All right, next, it's one of the more fun movies in the MCU, Guardians of the Galaxy.
See, this is tough. Because it was such a departure,
Yeah, from what we have seen.
and it was also the most obscure thing. Nobody knew. I didn't know Guardians of the Galaxy.
I didn't know what a Peter Quill was.
And I went into this movie expecting to have fun, but I didn't expect to absolutely love the movie the way I do today.
Yeah, it was.
The question is where to put it on the list. That's kind of what's tough. I mean, I can say for a fact it goes above Captain America. So it's kind of like, does it go above Iron Man? Does it go above the Avengers? Does it go above Captain America 2? That's kind of the question for me. What are your thoughts on it?
I love this movie. It was hilarious. It was. I love Chris Pratt. I'm a huge Parks and Rec fan, so seeing Chris Pratt on there was kind of what made me want to watch it. And also
So is
Zoe
it- yeah,
Saldana's,
yeah.
because that's just that's an obvious reason.
Of course.
why. Whenever Zoe Saldana's painted a different color, like I'm in blue, green, doesn't matter. Um, I just I mean, just based on it just being like in terms of just rewatchability, I can whenever this is on, like, cause it's always on TV, whether it be like FX or one of those movies channel.
Or just
If
Disney
it's on,
Plus
I'm
now.
sitting down and I'm gonna watch it. Yeah, like I'm gonna watch it. I put it up there with that in that Captain America range.
So above
It's-
Iron Man,
it's-
but is it above Avengers for you?
Not above Avengers, and I don't. I mean, in terms of Iron Man, it's like it's hard to knock him off because that's the grandpappy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, and that's kind of like, but at the same time, we're looking at we're trying to be kind of objective about this list, and
yeah.
just because it kind of like started the whole thing doesn't necessarily mean that it just beats everything, you know?
But it's the grandpappy. That's
What I'll say is,
Uh,
if we're talking about start to finish, I think Guardians of the
mm,
Galaxy was more entertaining than Iron Man. The first kind of part, especially like when he's in the cave and he's building his suit for the first time, it does drag a little bit.
what? That's some of the best
I love
parts.
it, but it drags a little bit. And then, when he comes back and the whole movie.
It drag you to a good time.
I just think
This
that
guy is something
overall, from
else.
start to finish, I think Guardians is a little better than Iron Man. Whether you put it above or below Iron Man is fine with me. I think it's kind of like
Disrespectful,
neck and
and
neck
that's
with
the
Iron Man.
problem. People is disrespectful in this world, but that's you just gotta live with that. All right,
Where are you putting it?
I don't know. All right, you know what? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! Did not mean to put him there. Ooh, he would have thought he was going there.
Above
Just for
the Grandpappy.
just for time's sake, Guardians of the Galaxy. Not writing all that. It's a lot of too many letters in the word Guardians. I'm not doing all that. All right, next is the sequel to the Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
More like about 90 minutes of Ultron. It was really Age of Ultron. Weekend at Ultron is what they should have called it.
um, yeah, a bit of a disappointment. Being the follow up to the Avengers.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, it's kind of in the range of like first Avenger, Iron Man 3, like somewhere around there.
Yeah.
It's better
Yeah.
than
I'm with you
Thor,
there.
um, but that's about as much as I can say about the movie.
Yeah, I'd probably put it above Iron Man 3.
So are you putting it below Captain America or above Captain America? Below?
Yeah, I put it
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
that seems about, yeah.
So
It was just
the
it was
Avengers.
disappointing. Is all. It wasn't bad.
It was.
It was just
No, it wasn't bad at
it
all.
was just after having the Avengers. Yeah, it just kind of fell flat. It introduced a lot of like cool characters, and it's also the villain. The problem is he just wasn't kind of on par with Loki. You know,
Yeah, I mean, well, all the MCU, a lot of the MCU
most of them
villains
aren't.
are forgettable.
But
But I love. I felt like it was just a waste of James Spader. Like that voice is just so
yeah,
menacing, and it just.
it was trying to be like a knockoff Iron Man, just kind of.
But some moments of it was cool. Like
The
at the twins,
Raging
we
Hulk
got.
was great. Hulk versus
Yeah,
Hulkbuster,
yeah,
super
that's
exciting.
and then
We got one of the most memorable
Quicksilver
lines in
died.
the MCU, language, um,
Language. Yeah.
which was great. Yeah, that's yeah, it's average, middle of the pack. That wraps
But
up.
then you got Avengers.
No,
You
that
don't
doesn't
assemble.
wrap up the phase two. There's one more, right?
I, I'll check.
But
This
I'm.
yelled at me when I was making a joke.
Oh, you were making a joke.
That doesn't make the Avenger. Like I didn't say it did. I never said it would ended to phase two. You gotta yell at me. Anyways,
Well, I was asking. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I'm
no.
pretty sure there's one more movie in the in phase two.
Yes, there's one more, and it is once again a completely different style of comic book movie or superhero movie, and that is El Ant-Man.
Which, fun fact, was the lowest budget movie so far in the MCU. The both Ant-Man movies are, and they're both very fun. Yeah, it goes above Avengers 2. I'm torn. I want to put it above Captain America, and it's for one reason and one reason only.
I think I know the reason.
What do you think it is?
Is it Michael
Oh,
Pena?
of course, Michael Pena is fantastic.
I I would watch just a movie with just him.
I'm upset they haven't done like a whole MCU recap of Luis
Yeah.
just doing his thing.
Allegedly, it exists. Will we ever see it? Who knows?
I hope so. Disney
But
Plus is a thing for a reason. They should just release it on Disney
yeah,
Plus.
I just want a Disney Plus show with just Luis, and I would tune in every single. Like if they could do like, oh, that'd be dope, like an Office style show of like him, Ti, and the Baba Yaga guy. I forgot his name.
Yeah. I would
But
love
with
it.
just those three guys, I would watch
Yeah.
that. I would watch. Oh my god, Disney, listen, I would watch that. So we're putting this.
I would
where we
put it
this
above
at?
Captain America.
Cool.
It's definitely more. You're writing Captain. It's Ant-Man.
You said Captain America, and my head went Captain.
Yeah.
And hyphen, man.
It's definitely more enjoyable, and it's a. I mean, it still follows the same recipe. Good guy versus an evil clone of himself.
Yep.
But yeah. That wraps up Phase
But it was good, you know. It was a heist.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it was kind of dope to see such difference. So the best Phase 2 movie was
Captain America 2.
America 2.
Mhm.